Hi guys, this is Aubrey Bianca Aranyo, and this video is all about my reflection about Rizal, and it contains 5 topics. Enjoy!
Biographical sketches.
Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines and a pride of the Malayan race, was born on June 19, 1861 in the town of Calamba, Laguna. He was the 7th of the 11 children born to a relatively well-off family, a brilliant student who became proficient in multiple languages. So my childhood experiences are basically at some point there were similarities and differences with results. So I was a product of a farmer father and a loving mother. My first cry was heard in the month of June in the year 2002. So despite of the financial issues, my parents have the ability to send me to school. But unlike the Rizal, I don't do well enough at school. He learned to read the alphabet when he was 3 years old, but I learned to read the alphabet when I was 5. So Jose Rizal was able to mold wax, clay figures, and draw. But compared to me, I was able to draw certain objects like trees, houses, and human stick. So in comparison to Jose Rizal, who can speak 22 languages, I am a Bisaya and only speak few dialects well. The family of Rizal can afford to send him to study in a private school that taught him to be self-reliant, independent, and to be responsible. We both became independent and self-reliant, but the difference is that I became in that way because of being a privileged student. Before Rizal was sent to high school, his family was having a hard time making a decision because they had choices. Unlike me, who had a hard time making a decision of which goal was more affordable. So even in this contemporary period, not everyone is given a chance to study in prestigious universities and to have a luxury of enjoying life, but Rizal did. I always wish that I could be like him in various aspects of life, but I am more aware that this is quite improbable. However, I am giving it my all and trying my hardest to develop into a useful person. Due to the hardships in my life, I have realized the importance of education as a first step toward prosperity for both myself and my country. Since there is sufficient incentive to learn and explore via wisdom, I made this promise to myself that education will not only extend outside in the four corners of classroom, but also reach the four corners of the world. Rizal's childhood experiences is so inspiring and wonderful. Some of it makes me cry, and it is really important to my future. The way Rizal dealt with his circumstances, his persistence in his studies and obedience, and his respect for others can serve as an example for me.
Pragmatic education.
It was evening at around 6 p.m. when I started reading the pragmatic education of Rizal. I knew that Rizal decided to see a famous eye surgeon in Europe despite of his limited allowance. So Rizal is someone who is pragmatic, that is to say, someone is practical and focused on reaching a goal, and usually has a straightforward matter-of-fact approach and doesn't let emotion distract him. So I can see myself to Rizal. Why? Because during my college life, I have encountered many problems to the point that I dropped all my subjects in my second year. I spent my 1 year developing my skills as a admin and accounting staff at Leon Kingben Works and Construction Services. So in spite of the fact that I went through a lot of problems, I am able to continue to pursue my goal. In fact that I am working, I need to save money so that I can help my parents to sustain my need in my school. Just like Rizal, although he was still holding out, he was looking for a way to save money. To sum up everything that is stated so far, Rizal is a source of inspiration. He taught me that a student like me should be practical in life because it can help you to grow into a better person.
Travels, frustration,
This
and
topic discusses
disappointment.
Rizal's travels abroad, homecoming, personal troubles, and difficulties faced by his own. Before the homecoming, Rizal was warned by Pasiano Mercado, his advisor and only brother, Silvestre Obaldo, his brother-in-law, and Jose Cecilio to not to return here in the Philippines because his Noli Me Tangere angered the friars. But Rizal was very determined to come back to find out for himself how the Noli Me Tangere affecting the Filipinos and Spaniards, and also to serve his people who had long been oppressed by Spaniards tyrants. So this made me like Rizal as a Filipino even more because of his commitment to public service and love to his people. In reality, my passion compared to Rizal is way too far. Why? Because during my college life, I have faced a lot of problems and I am really hard to myself and don't even care about the needy. But when I knew how determined Rizal is to help and serve to his people, even if he is facing a lot of problems and difficulties in life, I have decided that I need to improve on how to genuinely help the needy. On the other hand, the Archbishop of the Manila issued an order of banning the position and reading of that novel. An order that the governor an order that was later reinforced by the Governor General. 6 months later, pressured by the Spanish authorities as well by his family and his friends to leave the country and avoid further persecution, Rizal left Manila for Hong Kong. Moreover, Rizal's travel from country to country, including Japan, where he became an interpreter and earned salary, and then bound to America. He went around for observations of their city. I really admire the way Rizal is very observant. After that, he traveled to London to improve his English language, where he also likes the values and lifestyle of the country. And it was also the time when he was helped by a friend publish the second edition of the Noli Me Tangere and to continue to write La Solidaridad in defense of his people against Spaniards. He also wrote into ethnographic and history-related studies as well as political articles. Rizal received a bad news. It was a complicated status of his townsmen, including his family in the Philippines. Their properties were confiscated and they were exiled by their hometown and deported to different locations, and some are even arrested. So Rizal went to Madrid to open this case, but a rivalry had ensued between Rizal and Del Pilar because over the leadership of the Association Hispanos-Filipina in Spain. So Rizal decided to leave Europe to avoid the worsening rift between Rizalistas and Pilaristas and to help maintain unity among Filipino. If I am in the situation of Rizal, I would be depressed, and I really admire him on how to extend help to others even he was facing personal problems. Because of his story upon traveling famous places, I wanted to travel I wanted to experience traveling as well as he did. I want to know more about the culture of other country. So because of Rizal's knowledge, his concept about society, reform, and curiosity begins. So maybe if I travel the world also, I might learn new things and be able to understand things that is happening in our society.
Exile life.
The readings focus on Rizal's banishment towards his town. Jose Rizal is a man of great achievements. We can all draw inspiration from Jose Rizal in everything we do. He motivates us to work hard and be conscientious, which is something that most of us lack. I find it amazing that Rizal managed to accomplish so much, even living in exile, and didn't object to being transported to the Pitan to live like a prisoner, in the sense that he established a cooperative even while in exile. He has taught people of he has taught the unprivileged people of the Mindanao on how to band together for trade in order to become independent, liberate themselves from the Spaniards, and become less exploited. Jose Rizal remained to serve his country, while many others would panic, despair, or abandon hope for any achievement in their life as a result of being banished. I could tell that during his darkest days, he tried his best to become the sunshine of others. I strive, like Rizal, to be supportive of my friends, especially those in my family, especially through their difficult times, and make them laugh. Even though my contribution is significantly less than Rizal's, however, I'm still making an effort to make them happy because I know that even a small amount of assistance can make a huge difference to someone's life. Even Rizal is capable of escaping with the authorities by the aid of the Katipuneros. Rizal chose not to escape. Rizal was very true to his promise, and I can't deny the fact that I am very far from his honesty because there is a situation when I was invited and I said yes, but in the end I did not go. So my honesty compared to Rizal is way too far. Rizal genuinely cared about his countrymen, was a patriot, and was nationalistic because he never wanted to see his fellow Filipinos mistreated or exploited. This is what set Jose Rizal apart from the others and made a national hero, because he was a man who took real action. He always prioritized his compatriots over himself.
Justice and death.
The readings emphasize Rizal's trials and death. In order to bring about change, Rizal needed to be in the Philippines. Therefore, he went back here in the Philippines in 1892. He wasn't a part of the revolution's preparation for execution, but he was sympathetic to its principles, and his writings fueled the movement. Despite advocating for nonviolence, Rizal's books were enough to have him labeled an enemy of the state and sent into exile for 4 years to the island of Mindanao's Dapitan. Rizal was falsely accused of having ties of the Katipunan, a nationalist Filipino society that had initiated a rebellion. Rizal was found guilty of insurrection, conspiracy, and sedition, and giving the death penalty following a sham trial. On December 30, 1986 at 7 a.m., when he was 35 years old, he was shot by firing squad in Manila. 8 Filipinos were in the firing squad, each carrying a Remington rifle. 8 Spanish troops with Mausers were stationed behind them and given the order to shoot any executioner who disobeyed their commands. But his death meant much more for the Filipinos. It sparkled the revolution in the country against the Spanish government, which ruled Las Islas Filipinas, now the Philippines, from 1565 to 1898. There are a lot of lessons embedded me because of Rizal, and it is a very important to my future. Above all, there is one certain attribute that marked him as a great Filipino: his unquestionable dedication and passion to live and die for his country. And this is the reason what makes him alive until now.